live?
Hey guys!
Hey!
We're live!
We are.
Welcome everybody to Pints and Pistons. We are Pints and Pistons. Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah, that's
We're the
us.
Pints and Pistons
That's us.
people.
We
So-
are a man down. We got our
got
filling
Phil,
down
we
today.
got Will over here.
Always coming in clutch there.
Yes, Dan is home. He is got some stuff going on, so he was not able to be here today. So we got Will coming in for that. Thank you, Will, for being here for that. Guys, if you don't know who we are and you're tuning in for the first time, we are Pints and Pistons. We are the only unedited, unfiltered, censored,
Unscripted.
unscripted, live automotive talk show that tries new beers here on YouTube. So pretty much we basically like The View with less bickering.
More bickering. What are you talking about?
Well, less The Viewish. Less The Viewish stuff on there. So we end up, doing our one full topics. We try 2 new beers every single time, and sometimes they're a hit, sometimes they're not. But it's one of
When
those.
they're not,
We blame them on everybody. Like
My fault.
Chris is not allowed to bring a new beer for at least another month.
yeah,
That one was good.
yes, it was.
Well, yes, but still, the couple before that, like.
I solidly had one that was just. Whew.
Yeah.
But then again, that was Tampa Bay Brewing, and they're either
Awesome
they're
or.
they're the Colin McRae of beers. They're gonna win it or bin it.
Yep.
And when they win it, it's awesome. When they bin it, it's a awesome.
Well,
bin.
I gotta go pour this out now.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's not just like, I'm not a fan. It's a full-on,
Nope.
dump this
But
out.
you know what? I will give them credit. They full send it.
Yeah, no, whichever direction, it's a full send either way.
Mizzy says, "Where is everyone else? Like the brother who looks like Ian from Alvin and the Chipmunks."
Talking about Dan? Does Dan look like
Ian,
Ian from
like-
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're down one guy tonight, unfarted. He has
Yes.
some personal things happening. He couldn't make it.
And here we are.
And the show must go on. And on that note,
Top Gear rules.
I farted.
Yeah.
It
It appears that Dan has passed away.
He's passed away.
Moving on.
So if you would like to fill out for his job, please send a I am better than Dan to. We don't have a P.O. box.
No, we do not have a PO box.
Send it to pintsandpistons@gmail.com of why you should fill in or beat a new Dan because he has passed away and why you'll be better than him. I expect to see many emails, and if not, I'm disappointed in y'all.
No doubt. Make them good.
Give me a letter. Dear so-called Pints and Pistons.
No, Mizzy, Dan did not die.
That is a running joke from Top Gear,
Yes.
where anytime any one of them, mildly crashed a car, they would go,
Oh.
well, it appears that James May has, passed on.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Moving on.
If you would like to fill out for his job, send I am better than James May to BBC
If
Corporation.
you would like to host a talk show on the BBC, please write to.
Yes.
And I think usually the address they would give would be to some other department within the BBC,
Yes,
so they were
it
just like
was.
screwing with the rest of the
it
network.
was. So all of a sudden, the mailing department or not mailing, payroll would be like, why are we getting 10,000 letters saying I'm better than
Look at
James
the-
May?
look at the color.
A little bit of haziness going on there.
I see fruit.
Ooh. Ooh.
Mike,
this
you wanna show the
excites me?
Yep. Hold on. Let me.
I'm
finish
not even,
pouring
like I
right
said, I
quick.
got this one because it's it's either a seasonal or
You know
a one
what?
shot.
Well, tell about this, Brian,
I
because
was gonna go halvesies.
Go
I'm gonna go holesies.
well, and also just know that this one is only 5% and the other one is only 5.5.
Beautiful.
There's-
None of them today are like 8-9%.
Good.
They're
There's-
all relatively really nice.
There's
low
no
ones.
description. It just says this is from Swamphead Brewery. It is the Florida Peeler Grapefruit Easy Ale,
Can someone pull up on
and it just says
Swamphead?
Got
Yeah,
it just
Swamphead.
says
Remember this?
migrational release. So this is either a seasonal or a one shot.
Can y'all see the can?
A little closer. Little closer. Little towards you. There you go. Perfect. You blocked out my face. We're awesome.
Alright guys, this is Florida Peeler by Swamphead. It is a grapefruit easy ale. Don't know what that means, but it smells wonderful. I'm very happy that I'm having a grapefruit beer because with the blood pressure medicine, I'm not allowed to have grapefruit, and there's very little juice in here, so
We are
I'm
trying
excited.
to find an actual description for you.
Normally, if you go to the Swamphead website, which, guys, if you don't know, Swamphead is somewhat local brewing company.
They're out of Gainesville.
To us out of Gainesville. They're about
Along
an
with,
hour and a
along
half.
with First Magnitude.
Yes. First Magnitude was Hawaiian Line, right?
No, First Magnitude was the Wakula Hefeweizen.
Oh, yes. Which
Big,
one was
Big Top Brewery.
Big Top, yeah.
Big Top down in Sarasota.
Yeah, that was another good one. But yeah, if you haven't checked them out, Swamphead, I think it's swampheadbrewing.com. They have a whole list of stuff. They do a whole bunch of one-off seasonals. Then they have the normal stuff like Big Nose or Torpedo Bay, I think is the other one. And
Might not be listed.
It's not listed right now. Hold on. No, it's not.
Weird.
it smells wonderful. And okay, so Chris can't find it, and I need to drink this.
Yeah, just do a search for the Easy Ale.
So guys,
I'm liking the color. I'm liking the haziness.
The smell. The smells so good.
this way I don't want to
This
do it
way.
over the computer.
Yeah, that would be bad. And then
God, like seriously, it looks like it looks like some grapefruit juice. Really?
Whoa!
Hold on.
I don't even like grapefruit juice, and this is awesome.
I hate grapefruit
Hold on.
juice, but this is amazing.
this is a good summertime beer right here.
Mike's gonna hammer down half the glass. And then
I'm
give us a-
kind of sad that
already
it's cool
did.
out tonight because I wish I was sweating for this beer.
That's a good summertime beer.
Mike is enjoying his.
Mike is
delicacy.
going in.
Let's just cut to the chase, folks. Mikey likes it.
Mikey, you like it?
Strong. Like, it's got that really strong grapefruit, bitter,
Mhm.
sweet taste to it. With a little bit of a peel at the end of it.
But it's not killing you with the acidity.
But it's not overly acidic. And the base coat of the beer is like perfect.
Yeah, it's like it's
Just
a
a
nice ale.
nice soft ale underneath it. That's really good.
That is good.
Not overly.
Swamphead does it again, guys.
It's not overly carbonated.
Right.
I dig it. Mikey's about done.
Mikey likes it.
I have a new favorite beer.
That's really, really good.
I'm taking one home and I'm gonna leave you one.
Okay.
And I'm going
God damn.
to try and find some.
I got it at
Chris
Publix.
River ABC.
They have
Because
it.
I saw it up there.
And like I said, I got mine at Publix.
Really
up by
good.
me.
Wonder if our Publix has
Should. But like I said, I saw it the day before Thanksgiving when I was getting, or a couple days before Thanksgiving when I was getting all my fixings for Thanksgiving dinner, and there was like 6 or 7 of them on the shelf. And then I went back the day after Thanksgiving, and there were 2.
it. Ooh.
And then there was 1.
This is amazing.
That is
Amber,
really
hi
good.
Amber.
This
Howdy.
is absolutely amazing. Like, so you know the fuck? What the hell is that crazy name one? The Sulfur Stopper or whatever. You know the German one that is only like 2.5%.
Oh yeah.
That it's a crazy long. It's like Sulfur Stopper something or all that.
Which is basically German for Bob's beer.
Yeah.
Not good in Tannenbaum.
That one.
Beer.
That
Beer,
one
beer.
has more of a full grapefruit flavor, like the little bit of the, because you know grapefruit is pretty tart in that, but it also has that little bit of a
Sweetness.
twinge of a sweetness. I gotta say that one carries on the sweetness a bit better, but this one, even though it's tartar, just with
It's not overly tart.
it's not overly tart with the beer. It's amazing. Like, and like you said, it's not overly carbonated, which some of the beers, like you know me, I have a problem chugging some of the beers because they're just you get like
Too
4
carbonated.
sips and you're like, yeah, no, you just feel it here.
Oh no, that
This
one.
thing's
that
amazing.
what was it? That the goat something.
The goat that just popped out of his ass.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, it was one of the beers that Dan's wife brought back for us.
Yes, it was good. It was really fucking
It was
good.
hard. It was hard to taste it because as soon as it moved
oh
around, it
yes,
just,
that's the one that we tried. Remember when we tried it in Dan's garage, and it was the veteran-owned one.
yeah.
And it was.
It was hard to get the flavor because as soon as it touched your mouth, it
It
just
just
exploded in a
instantly
foam.
Yeah.
just instant to
You know what this reminds
You
me
know, and
of?
honestly, that might have been a case of bottled at altitude and then brought here.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Oh.
You know what this bears a strong resemblance to? Not quite in flavor, but in quality and drink. Mango Cart.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely
Much like
different.
mango
And
cart.
And this is,
different on the
you know
flavor.
what?
This
This one's
is-
better than the what's that? The Ligon full
Well, that's a shandy.
It's still a
that's-
grapefruit though.
I know, but that's
But-
a full-on shandy.
So that's a lot more grapefruit and
Yeah.
juice
Yeah,
in
but
it
this is,
than
I think this is way better than that.
yeah, the Lingenkugels. But like I said, those are shandies, and those are literally beer mixed with juice.
Yeah.
So you can have a grapefruit shandy, an orange shandy, a
Well,
lemon,
and that's
lime
like
shandy, or whatever.
the one with the really long name. That one's only the alcohol
Man,
content
that's
of
good.
it is only 2.5%. Like, it's a very low alcohol content.
And because it's cut with a certain amount of juice in it.
I think those ones actually have like 30 to 40% juice in
yeah.
it, because when you actually read the back of the can, it's like
I like
a big amount of that.
Well,
onto
that's
there.
what makes it a shandy
Yeah.
versus just a.
Well, theirs isn't an actual shandy. It's just beer with that much juice
yeah, which is pretty
into
much
it.
like shandy.
Yeah,
Okay.
but no, this
Very
is
loud out there tonight.
this is
What was that?
yes,
I think it was S197.
yeah, this is amazing, absolutely amazing, Brian. Like, fuck yeah, dude, fuck yeah,
Good call.
Good call, sir.
Glad this one worked out.
worked out, yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah, like I said, I could definitely see this ending up in my fridge again.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, on the scale of no to back in my fridge again,
Oh,
this
this
is back in the
This
fridge.
is back in my fridge to I will drive out of county to get this.
Oh, by the way, guess what's open again? Earth Fair.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, we've been there a couple times already.
I didn't know it reopened.
Oh,
I've never been
about
there.
a month and a half ago. About a month and a half ago. it
There are
reopened.
3 things at Earth Fair that I care about. Number 1,
Their
their
meat?
butcher.
Oh
Their butcher
god.
line. They have
Top
some
notch.
of the best steaks I have ever eaten in my
Okay.
entire
Well,
life.
also we gotta say, like you got Whole Foods, Earth Fair's like popularity and all that is under it, but they come out on top. So
Where is this place located?
in Ocala,
Next to Best Buy.
in Ocala.
Alright, so
Now having stepped foot into an Earth Fair,
It is
And
one of
it's
those
kinda
you're
like-
like, oh, look at all these
they're a
hipsters.
Said step foot.
Yeah.
there are friends of mine who would think that I would burst into flames stepping upon consecrated ground.
I thought the same thing when I went in there, and is this not exact face that I did, Chris? How did you pull me into here? And then I go down my first aisle, and I'm like, thank God you pulled me in here.
Robert H said, "Hola, show Daddy the beers."
Oh, that's
We've
Rob.
got-
Hey, Rob. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we've got Swamp Head, Florida Peeler, Grapefruit Easy Ale, and it is fucking fantastic.
I sent him pictures of it there. Thank you for watching, Rob. They're currently out at dinner right now. And
Nice.
He is watching us.
Nice. So, what's for dinner?
yeah, so the 3 things there. For 1, their butcher counter is amazing.
Mhm.
Number 2, they have some of the best coffees I've ever had. The Tanzanian tea berry coffee I
Really?
get from there is amazing.
Also, I
And
got
number 3, their beer aisle
selection.
is huge. And it's like they have a whole block of it
That's
just for craft Florida brewing.
Like the
That's
same
just
size
weird shit.
as the frozen food section is.
You know,
You
I
got-
have been in
you-
charge of grocery shopping for this weekend, so
there you go.
Will, I'm dead serious. From that corner to that corner
It's
is
craft beer.
just the Florida craft beers. Then you got from there to there of regular shit, but just you got pretty much 4 giant fucking
It's like I'm going to
windows
Ocala
of that.
tomorrow.
And
And their food's great.
But wait, there's
hopefully,
more.
hopefully they still are, but they have been a reliable source for my favorite beer,
Regular.
Hillbilly Island
Yeah.
Ale.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
I actually saw that at the Walmart in Denellen.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So,
Ooh,
but I also
Walmart
gotta
carrying
say, their frozen meat, like not frozen meals, but their frozen like small meal section of like.
Take this out, put it in the oven.
Yes.
Mhm.
So remember when Sabrina was working up in Gainesville for
Yeah.
that little while and that? Well, remember how I had that salmon that came on the cedar plank and the
Yeah.
bourbon chicken and all that? That we got for $4 for that one piece of salmon and all that. That's where we got it was from Earth Fair, and it was I spent $30, had enough food like these individual meals for myself while she was up in Gainesville. To where, hey, I take it out. The salmon is a bourbon salmon on a plank of cedar. Take it out, unwrap it, put it in the oven. Gave you full cooking instructions, everything, to where I couldn't even fuck it up.
That's
And
saying
it's-
something.
Like their shit there was
Yeah,
amazing with
instructions are
that.
important. I have a hard time making grilled cheese sandwiches, so.
No,
Yeah, but,
like,
you know,
no, it is a
But
full
sometimes,
on,
I mean,
like,
you know what happens? You let
10-step.
children loose on the stove, and shit
Yeah.
happens.
Like, that place is awesome. Well,
Yeah.
a side note, yeah, that place is awesome.
I can
so.
cook anything in the microwave with instructions, but on the stove,
Well,
I get.
like, are you a steak person?
Yes.
Okay,
Their
so
steaks are amazing.
you go
Oh,
up there
amazing.
and you catch them on sale, $7.99 a pound for grass-fed organic ribeyes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. And Brian can attest, you know Brian with with Brian and his meat. Brian likes his meat
I'm a
up there.
carnivore. I'm definitely a carnivore.
It's good.
I
If
definitely
Best
love
steak.
the steak.
if it was living and walked across the face of the earth at one time or another, yeah, I'm down to put that on my plate next to mashed potatoes.
A little bit of long pork, it doesn't matter.
Oh, they also sell lionfish there, too.
Pork, even if it swims.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian,
Pork,
did you know they
deer.
sell lionfish there?
Wait, live
Really?
ones?
No, well, no, frozen ones.
Oh.
But lionfish, you can get full-on lionfish.
That'd be cool to catch a live one, bring it home, and drop it in the tank.
Right?
Yeah.
You
So
can't-
anyway, topic. Sorry, we food,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got sidetracked. It happens.
and we ate dinner too.
And we did.
just ate dinner.
We
too.
did, but you know, discussions of beer often lead to food, and this is where we are.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hence our 2 episodes ago, our 40-minute topic about cast iron skillets and why they are great.
Yep, they are awesome, and I just got to today. So.
Here at
You want
Pints
to
and
seal those
Pistons-
seal those in on a cast iron skillet, finished off in the oven. You don't even want to let that touch.
Salt and pepper, S&P, that's the way for me, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Here at Pints and Pistons, we are very diverse.
We are. Anyway, so we want to go into our first topics.
And
of
actually, it
stuff.
was a pretty good topic that Mikey came up with.
So I came off with this while I was angry at work, looking at Jalopnik on my computer while I was supposed to be doing something else, and went, fuck it, I'm looking at my computer, and hey, Jalopnik, looking at this, then I thought of the idea, came home from work, watched the regular car reviews, that I'll tie in later, of their AE 111 review, and it was just one of those, I'm like, let's do this. So it is, Brian, I'll let you read into it. And
So Mikey wants to know, what is our favorite 90s Japanese non-Halo and non-Hero car?
so by Halo Hero, I mean, so it's not going to be...
Z32 twin turbos, Skyline,
Skyline,
Supras,
Supra,
FDRX7s,
Evos,
Your
stuff
premier
like that.
cars.
the
Yeah.
premier cars, the Halo cars, the ones,
Yeah.
the ones that
The
everybody
ones
pays the
that
internet-
cause the JDM tax on everything else.
yeah, and
Yes.
the internet tax and the
Yeah.
Fast and Furious tax.
And on that point, we will not add the 240 into there because that has, even though it's not the hero car, it has added so much hype to it. Sorry,
you pay
sorry,
the internet,
240 shorty,
you
but
pay the internet tax
Yeah.
and you pay the drift tax
Yeah.
on that one.
Yep.
yeah,
Because when you because finding a nice ones are impossible, and even right-hand drive imported ones now,
And they're all
180SXs,
beat
they're
up
just like all
shit
90s
boxes.
cars. They're just through the roof.
before we go into it, just like the one that Johnny showed us, that was a shell
A shell.
with rot everywhere, shit paint, and that
It was trashed.
guy wanted $5 grand for
$5
it.
grand
I
for
thought
it.
it was fucking.
I was like, what is he? Has he got 400?
You know what?
It better have a gold bar in the back.
I'm
That's
gonna say,
all
has
I'm
he got
saying.
$4,500 in the glove box that it comes with?
This was one of those. The
Like,
shock
fuck that.
towers were rotted out. The
Oh, it was-
floor was rotted out.
it was
Corner
horrible.
panels. I mean, full on rot. Not like, hey, a little bit of
So-
rust.
So what
Rot.
you're saying is it's about 5 years away from being from the the A20 Celica that I found up in Ohio.
No, it's about 3 weeks away from being yard art.
Oh no! The one that I found in Ohio was a Swiss cheese sheet metal shell that vaguely resembled the shape of a '76 Celica GT.
And you sneeze on it and it collapses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loading it up out of the trailer is not going to happen because it's going to collapse.
Oh no,
on
you're
you.
gonna load it up in the trailer.
As you drive down the road.
And then you're gonna
everything's
lose half the
gonna-
car
Yes,
on the way home.
No,
exactly.
you're gonna load it up in the trailer when you basically take all the dust off the lawn and put it in the trash can
Yeah.
and
Right.
strap the trash can to your trailer.
Yes,
That's what's gonna turn
Exactly.
into.
It's just as soon as you go down the road, just
So, and we actually have pictures of the
Yes,
cars. up
yeah,
there.
so guys,
I decided that, you know, we should post some pictures up here like we do the Bat cars, so
Yep.
we have pictures of our picks.
So, Chris, you are the wizardly world of
Alrighty.
wizard.
So you pick who's going first and show their cars.
Well, I've just put it all into one slideshow, honestly.
Okay. So
Well, when you do it, you gotta pause it so each person can talk about that
you can
stuff.
pause
I
it.
don't know if I can pause it or not.
All right.
I
Well,
don't think I can.
yeah. Well,
Well,
figure it out.
we'll let it go through, and we'll start with one card, let somebody talk about
Alright,
it, and
Boom.
That's Will's pick.
I was
That
gonna
is
say
my
I can't
pick.
see,
That-
so
yeah.
And that has got to be Chris's pick.
That is my pick, absolutely.
Is that a Jimmy?
Jimny, yes.
Yeah, the Jimny.
That's
There's-
one of mine.
Ooh. Bill MX3
Six.
or 6.
That's the other one of mine. And I'll get into why I picked the two of them.
They almost look the same.
All right, so as they come up, let's name them.
So
Alright.
that is Mikey's 3000 GT Vr4/GTO. That does have the later model headlights on it.
Mm-hmm.
well, hold on. I
There's
also
there's
sent a
pop-ups.
couple pictures on it because
And that's the pop-up light version.
we'll let them go
Ooh,
through
there
and
you
then
go.
we'll
The
then
Galant
we'll stop.
VR4.
The Galant VR4.
See, I can't fucking see. God damn it.
That's a good looking Galant VR4. I dig
So we'll
that.
let
That
the-
one's definitely been modified.
Yeah, we'll let the pictures roll through and then we'll go into each individual one.
That one's mine.
That one's Wall's.
Okay, well, go for it.
1995 Mazda Lantis Type R. And the reason why I picked that, because one, it's a 5-door hatchback that is just ridiculously styled. I mean, for, obscurity.
Definitely obscure. That one there has been modified.
That one's been modified. That one's had the top wing taken off, but the red one is an actual, promo
Oh yeah,
shot for Mazda.
that's definitely an Escort Kazi wing
Oh yeah.
statement going on back there.
I saw it and I was like, this is actually really cool, and it's powered by that Mazda K motor, that V6. But they had a bunch of motor options for it. They had a 1.8, which I think was a Miata motor at the time too. But they also had that K, the same thing that's in Ali's MX3.
2.5.
Or a 2.5. Oh, it was a 2.0.
It was a 2.0?
It was a 2.0 Mazda K motor, from what I read.
Okay, well, Ali's has the 2.5.
I'm sure Wayne or Ali will pop on here, but it's
Yeah.
see?
Yeah. Wayne's come. Is it Wayne or Ali?
Got Wayne.
Wrench Monkey's probably Wayne or Ali.
Got one of those in the shop.
Talking about the lawn.
Oh yeah. Hey, we got that running too. And I
Sweet.
stalled it.
Did you drive it?
Floorboard.
Floorboard. Clutch.
Activation.
Activation. You just lift up on the pedal. Clutch
Done.
activated.
Wow.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Yes. So continue.
So I would my
KLZ is what
install that one.
2.5 is what Ali has. Yeah, the one in here it was a K motor in that, but it was they said it was a 2.0.
Robert, I can't believe the people at this restaurant would rather eat than watch this with me.
Well,
We're kinda thinking the same thing.
Rob, you know what? Turn it up loud. Right now, how much for the little girl on the table behind you?
Others. How much for the women?
How much for the women? How
Like
much
that,
for the women?
what Wayne said right there. So we fixed that too. Hashtag winning team, sir.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hashtag
So
trash behavior.
let's continue on, Will.
But I chose that car just because one, it's a 5-door hatchback in the 90s. What?
Oh, it sounded like it was making more noise when it was on.
But
Nothing good there.
what really drew that to me was the fact that the car weighs 2,600 pounds and has a capability of 160 to 175 horsepower.
That'd be fun.
And
that's
it's a 5-speed.
That's Colin Chapman ethos right there. Simplify and add lightness.
And it just looked like a cool car in a couple videos I watched about it, and I remember seeing it back in the day because of, I remembered it because of the high deck wing on it.
And the video game stuff.
Yeah.
The video game
Yeah,
car.
well, that car was actually in Gran Turismo.
Okay, that's
the first one.
3.
3?
3.
Oh,
I remember. And
getting-
also, what's really cool about that car is they also use it in the Japanese touring car championships too.
Ah.
And
Sweet.
it actually did really well for what it was. It was just an all-around good, fun.
Yeah, that rear wing is.
Yeah.
That's
It was just an
definitely- that's
all-around good.
Definitely got shades of Escort
Kazi,
Kazi.
yeah.
It was just an all-around good, and it looks good when it's modified and dropped down to right wheels on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the only one I picked, and
That was the only one you
that's
picked?
the only one I picked. So
Okay, Chris.
Chris.
All right, so mine's up there. So I went with the Suzuki Jimny because
the new ones are verboten here in the U.S. Fuck you, European Dealer Network, and your Congress critters that you bribed all those years ago. You can all kiss my crippled ass.
yep,
Once again, because of the Germans, we can't have nice
goddamn,
things.
the new ones look so.
the new ones are awesome.
They'll look good.
But even in the 90s, so we didn't get them here, but it's
The
a
closest-
Suzuki Samurai,
That's
but
the closest
smaller.
thing. That's the closest thing we got was the Samurai.
Yeah, but it's smaller.
Which the Suzuki Samurai was
Was
actually
small.
a model of the Jimny at that time, it was the next big size. It was the upsized model. So the Samurai got the 4-cylinder engine and everything. The Jimny,
So it was a K car.
the Jimny was considered a true K car with a 3-cylinder engine.
Yeah, the
Turbo.
660 cc's.
Yep. And the original Jimny was actually a 2-stroke engine.
Yeah.
Like the original little Jimnys from the 80s, they had 2 strokes in them. Little 800cc 2 strokes. How cool is that?
Oh yeah, any of the Pacific Island areas out there, man, those things are just perfect to mob around night.
Right.
Those are awesome.
And
it's
the Japanese idea of an off-roader. It's we don't need to go bigger to crawl over stuff. We go smaller to crawl around stuff.
And through things.
Right.
And my favorite thing about that is, me and you, before they got here, we were talking about, the side-by-sides and
I love the
that,
high top roof.
to
on it.
where
Right.
it was one of those.
So cool.
I would much rather have a Jimny.
Well, not
than
even
any
that,
side-by-side.
even the Samurai, because when the side-by-sides first came out, yeah, they were smaller, all that, they were great for that. Now, with the size of them and all that,
You might as well have a Samurai.
a Samurai is still smaller now, even with how the price of a Samurai coming up. You're still paying less for a Samurai than you are a fucking new side-by-side, and where side-by-sides are now getting stuck on trails, the Samurai can
Yep.
straight on
And they're
past.
so easy to work. I had a Samurai a long time ago. And
So imagine having a Jimny with, one less cylinder and even smaller.
that Samurai, I had so much fun in that thing. I mean, when it broke, it was stupidly easy to fix. I mean, there was just really nothing.
I think
to
I've come up with the best way to summarize the difference between a Samurai and a Jimny. 4 cylinders, 4 limbs. 3 cylinders, 3 limbs.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Samurai, I'm a Jimny.
There you go.
There it is.
And
Actually,
you know what? You can still go faster than me as a Samurai, and you're a Jimny.
And
go over crazy shit too.
Yes.
that's the other thing I like about the Jimny.
Pivot
is
points.
The Jimny is the same ethos you just said.
Simplify
and add lightness.
Not to mention, when you look at where the wheels are placed on the body, the approach and departure angles of those things is insane.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
Yeah, because
And that goes to you. Departure angles at the arms versus at the hips. Added mobility, guys. Added mobility.
You didn't have.
Fucked up body mechanics for the win.
And it works.
You didn't have 14 feet of front end before you got to the wheel. I mean, the wheel was like right at the bumper.
Yeah, the departure
And even at the
Approach and
back,
departure angles.
you were.
And even the breakover angles on those things, because the wheelbase was so short, you had a good breakover angle,
Yeah.
even on one that was rolling on stock wheels and tires and stock ride height. I mean, they're rad little units. I would love to have one of those.
I mean, in the
And you could Hayabusa swap.
the South American Jungle episode of Top Gear,
Yeah, that would be so rad.
like, let's be honest, the best performing vehicle in that challenge
Was the Jimny.
it wasn't a Jimny, it was a
Samurai.
Samurai.
When they did the Bolivia.
Yeah, the
thing.
Bolivia,
Yeah.
the Bolivia special.
Shit, who
Yeah.
had that? Was that?
That was James
It was
May.
May that had it. Yeah,
Captain Slow.
and his was pretty much stock. It wasn't lifted or
Yeah.
anything like that. And he
then-
did.
Well, that was, remember, halfway through, they went to the town, and the other two lifted their vehicles up,
And
and
he
he's
didn't-
like, what have I done to mine?
I fixed it.
I've repaired it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I've repaired the fuel issue, and that's all I've done. I'm not doing anything else to it.
And it
Yeah.
was the little.
And then
engine that could-
Richard Hammond bought the most
His-
unreliable, reliable vehicle.
Yes.
I mean, that FJ, them things are supposed to be legendary reliable, and he bought the absolute worst one.
Yep.
Yes.
It wouldn't start, and then it broke down all the time.
It broke down all the time. Then it lost the clutch, so he's having to man shift it.
Yeah.
And then he
Sorry.
rolled it down the sandhill.
Yeah.
Donkey!
Well, I'll continue on. So I chose 2, and I chose these. The first one I chose is just because I love the way they look. I'm not really much into front-wheel drive cars. I just prefer rear-wheel drive.
I figured you got your inner Dan in you.
So it's why. So I chose the first car, and that's the Mazda MX-6, the second-gen MX-6.
And
Sister car-
he had Dan, pop into his head going,
Figured
"Pick
out-
my car!
Yeah, I
Pick
figured
my
how what's
car!"
going on. So, but I think styling-wise, they're absolutely perfect of the era. Styling cues
Oh,
coming
they're
right off
amazing.
the FDRX7, and the front end and the lights and stuff sort of ended up becoming on the ND or NB Miata.
Yeah.
with the fixed
And,
headlights.
I mean, it's pretty much
So
the
the
Probe.
styling sort of went on. Now the first gen MX6s, they kind of reminded me of like an Accord Coupe or
Yeah, they
Accord
had
Coupe.
pop-ups.
No pop-ups. They had fixed
I thought-
flush mounts.
I thought the first one, that was six.
The Accord Coupes had pop-ups, but the first gen 6 had flush mounts.
I'm just gonna say it. Ford thought the MX-6 was so good they were gonna replace the Mustang with it.
Yeah, the Probe. But that was actually, it was the first gen Probe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Funny story about that, it was one of the magazines that said, hey, this is what Ford's planning to do. If you guys don't like that idea, you should write Ford a letter.
Uh-huh.
I was in high school at the time.
1980.
I was one of the people. I was one of the
Wrote a
kids. I
letter.
was one of the kids that wrote a letter to Ford saying, "Don't fuck with our Mustangs."
1988, because you had 86 the last year, the Four Eyes, the first year of the Aero Coupe, the Aero fronts came out in 87. Right as they came out was when that article came out, and yeah, they were gonna do that, and
We all lost our shit over
and
that.
that's where the
Yeah.
Probe came out. And you know what? The amount of shit the Probe gets, that car,
Actually,
especially the second
The
gen,
second gen Probe GTs.
are fucking amazing.
I think
They're seriously, they're the same
I
exact thing as the
MX6, they're
There's
sister cars. I think the second gen Probe GTs looked awesome.
amazing.
Mhm.
I
Well,
think-
how-
I
did
think
you
the-
sell? No.
Those as a rear wheel drive car or an all wheel drive car would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I gotta hold on. I gotta. Well,
you do
continue
that.
talking. I
You do
gotta
that.
pull up a rendering.
So yeah.
Oh, the blue one, Mike.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
continue.
the MX6, I love the way the car looks, and that's all. That's one of those cars that goes back to a question you guys did when I was not here. Which front wheel drive car would you rather see as a rear wheel drive car?
With Probe.
Those two. My answer, of course, is all of them. But those two twins right there.
Should have been a rear-wheel
Oh
drive.
damn, that's ridiculous.
I saw that.
But no,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. You look at this one with it being a rear-wheel drive. You see how much distance there is between the center line of the wheel and the A-pillar.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at a front-wheel drive car, it's all shoved back.
Yeah.
And that screws up because it ends up squishing the wheels in. It leaves a lot more overhang just because of the mechanical nature of a front-wheel drive car.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, that's another just visually rear-wheel drive cars look better to me. So if the
Yep.
MX-5 had that front axle center
Six.
line 6 shoved forward about 4 inches,
It would have been perfect.
Uh-huh.
it would have been amazing. And that would have been my primary car. If that had been a rear-wheel drive car, that would have been the car I picked because I love the way
Fun
they look.
fact about the MX6, that gen that you have up there, Connecticut State Troopers used them for a while.
Yep.
93 to 97, where there was the second gens. The other car that I picked was the Lexus Sc300.
Great cars.
Why,
Basically-
hold on. Why not the 400?
Because
Same car.
no one wants that V8.
Yeah,
I just want to know why.
I'd rather have the straight 6. And
Yeah.
again, like I said, you know, I had a Japanese car with a straight 6, and I freaking loved them one another. But now they're too goddamn expensive.
I can understand you with this. One, straight 6, lighter up front.
Yeah.
2, that V8 was decent, but who doesn't want a 2J?
Yeah, like I said, you know, the
If
SC,
you-
I just
If
want to
you are-
know why
if
you
you
go,
are
why
a-
not why the 3 versus the 4?
If you are
Because
a broke
I
Superboy,
I
you get
love,
that car.
yeah,
Right.
well, it's basically, it's the Super's grown-up, respectable brother.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you can mod a Super with, you can mod one of those
Yep.
with. Everything will fit under the hood. And as a matter of fact, the 2JZ with the twin turbos and a digital dash, you could get in Japan in the
Mhm.
Toyota Sora,
Yeah.
which is what that car is.
Right.
Which also the Toyota Sora and that, especially the right-hand drive ones that our wonderful friend Orly had, same bolt pattern as a New Edge Mustang, and you put that silver one, just like the one you had posted up, on 0304 Cobra wheels.
It looks fantastic. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, anything you could do to a Supra, you could do to an SC300. You could do it for a lot cheaper than you could do a Supra with.
Yeah.
And I mean, styling-wise and looks-wise, they're just a really good-looking. They
Oh, they
totally
were
look like
great
the
looking
90s.
cars. Oh, yeah.
They
They
totally
were
look
great
90s.
looking
I mean,
cars.
it's absolutely. There's no way you could mistake that for a decade other than the 90s. Just like the
You
MX6.
get out of that
Hi, Chris.
car. Hey, Chris.
How's it going?
You get out of that car. You better be in a suit with a briefcase, with your, not your back phone, your car phone, hanging it up, talking about your stock and your real estate.
But no, like I said, it was the
Am I
Supras.
right?
It was
Like
the Supras.
that's You see that
And-
car, that's the type of person that you expect to get out
And
of
not to
it.
mention, I mean, like I said, it's not a sports car. It's a GT car. It's a Luxo cruiser. But you can make them do cool things.
But
And
also,
like I said, when they first came out, I just thought they were cool. Even though they were a Lexus, and nobody really wants to admit to driving a Lexus, they're cool. I like them.
and people didn't realize that they're not sports cars. They're GT cars,
They're
which
cruisers.
is actually what the
Really, what the Mark IV Supra
what the
is.
Mark
Yeah.
IV Supra and the R32, even the GTR, they're GT cars. They're not sports cars. They got a back seat in that. You're supposed to be able to put your luggage in there, your briefcase, all that. Yes, you can go fast, but you're going fast in comfort and style.
And you're covering you're covering great
Long
distances.
distances.
Yep.
Those are long distance cars, and like you said, if anything says long distance cruiser, it's that Lexus SC300. Because
Yeah, the MX6 was a sporty two-door,
yeah, but
sort
you
of
look,
four-seat car. And again, like I said, I love the styling of
Yeah.
Like I said, the
Dan's
styling.
not here,
Dan's
man.
not here, man.
I'm
No,
glad
I
we
am
both thought of that
Dan.
joke at the exact same
Hold on.
time.
Is it Dan doing it?
Oh,
No,
wait a
it's
minute.
Chris.
He says,
Ah.
Chris said he saw Dan twice today on Fort Island.
Dan's not here, man. No, it's me, Dan. No, Dan's not here, man. No, it's me, Dan. Open up the door. No, Dan's not here.
No.
So yeah, basically the MX6 is the car that I just love the styling of, but the SC300 is the car that I would actually own because straight six and rear-wheel drive.
Nice.
So then we go into mine. My first one was the 91-92 Gt Vr4 that has the wonderful 4G.
4G63.
Yeah,
4AG series.
yeah, 4G63T, which is pretty much the same as
The Evo.
the Evo, and
And the all-wheel drive turbo Talons and
Yes.
Eclipses, the DSMs.
but you have this car to where yes, you had the Evo and that, but size.
Oh, he didn't know Dan wasn't here because
No.
our car
Oh,
picks are blocking
yeah.
everybody.
Oh, yeah,
So,
So-
car picks.
kill the car picks.
But you
Killing
have-
the car picks.
You have that, but you have the size of it. It is a full-on saloon car, and that is a proper four-door. It's unlike the Evos. They were the
The
more
compact.
compacts. This was a full-on saloon car, but yet you had that wonderful motor. You had a 5-speed in it. You had all-wheel
All-wheel
drive. The better handling suspension, the sway bars, all that shit. And they are great cars. Having driven one, not only just stalling one, driven one, and detailing one, the same one that I stalled, and that, they're great fucking cars. Like, you think about it, a car that size should not move the way that car moves.
It's a
Should
hot hatch.
not.
It's a hot hatch with a really big trunk.
Exactly. But it's one of those, you can fit 5 people in it extremely comfortably.
7 if you're his size.
Yeah, exactly. But you're very comfortable in it. It's one of those.
Again.
The way I see it is, okay, I'm almost like now, I'm almost 30. I still want something sporty, yada yada yada. But I have a growing family. I have now 2 kids. One's 3 years old. One's an infant. I gotta have a car seat and all that. What car do I want? That. Well, if it was in the 90s,
Yeah.
Japanese market, that. I'm able to fit the whole entire family in it. Able to go to the shops, get all my essentials, put it into the back of the trunk, have all that room. But yet on the way home from
Going to
work,
the shops. He's like us. He's watched way too much British TV.
Yep.
is
Next
that-
thing you know, he'll be taking things to the tip instead of the dump.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'm by myself on my way home from work. It's been a bad day. When someone in some random car wants to hotboy me, he ain't hotboying me. I'm gonna take it through the fucking mountains, go through the curves, and it'll be great.
Yeah, Chris, our subject is 90s cars that are not the hero or halo cars.
90s
sort of
Japanese cars.
90s Japanese cars that aren't halo cars or heroes cars.
But then I also gotta go into my second car, which I did the 2 pictures of, because it's it was the same generation, just the pre-facelift and then facelift cars. The 3000 GT Vr4, where over there was called a GTO.
Yeah.
Here, obviously, they couldn't sell as that for licensing reasons. And
Because of Pontiac.
Yeah. But those, especially the pre-facelift cars, you had so many just not necessarily like computer assist, but like mechanical computer assist.
Active aero.
Active
steering,
aero,
all-wheel drive,
the four-wheel
turbos.
steering. You had the dampers in the exhaust to where during, like, if you were fully on it, it would open it up, where if you weren't, it would close it with, like, vacuum restrictions, all that shit. Like that's a GT.
Cars ahead of their
That
time.
is a
Well,
GT
Over a certain
fucking
speed,
car.
the cars would actually lower
Lower
itself
down,
to
yeah.
it.
Once
That
you got
would
over
lower-
70, I think it was 70 miles per hour or 70 kilometers an
70 or
hour,
80,
it would just
it would
hunker
lower.
down like half an inch. Like, you gotta think about it, half an inch. Like,
Wait a minute, it didn't have air ride.
it had the active dampers in it. Like,
yeah,
it
but
would.
but the dampers don't change the springs. They just change the stiffness.
No, it was fuck. What was that system
I don't
called?
remember what it was called, but it did.
No,
over
the
a certain
first
speed,
ones
it
would
actually-
full on
it would
lower it.
lower itself.
Yeah, because my 95 Mark 8 had that over 60 miles an hour. It would
Which
drop.
the Mark 8 was
It's
also
the
a
fastest.
Cosmo,
It's
so.
the fastest I've ever.
Yeah, it was.
Fastest I've ever been in a car was a VR4, Glunt, or not Glunt, but a 3000 GT VR4.
The first
Over
car
the
first car I was in that shot flames was Davin's VR4. That
The green one.
God, I fucking love that. Diggum. His name was Diggum, and I just remember that thing, just the backfires and then just the flames that thing was shooting, trying to keep up with it in the Cobra. And Chris, that's watching now, would attest to that.
Yeah, go on for the win. Yep.
And just seriously, that.
Wrench Monkeys, the Celica All-Track.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, guys, I didn't even think about that. Because that's also one of those that's one of the rally legends.
It
You know,
is.
it wasn't.
That was
That
that was
was
actually
literally-
a car that Toyota pulled off like the greatest cheat in World Rally ever.
Yes.
With the way they bypassed air around the restrictors in the turbo. It was
Yes.
awesome.
The fastest I've ever been in a car is in one of those. There's 186 miles an hour going across the James Point Bridge in Jacksonville.
Just those
And that was, I
things-
mean, coming off the top and then coming off the down. That's that's the biggest bridge in Jacksonville. Monstrous freaking bridge.
It's like the what is it? Skyway in Tampa,
it's
like
bigger
the
than-
height wise.
it's
Yeah,
bigger
but
than the
I'm
Skyway.
talking about like
It's
height.
longer than the Skyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's taller than the Skyway, but it's longer than the Skyway. But you come downhill on that bridge, and I mean, it's perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Because it's Interstate 295's Beltway, and you come down 3 lanes, either way, and you come down that bridge. Usually there's a state trooper sitting down there because everybody goes flying down that fucking bridge, dude. And that's as fast as I've ever been in a car was with one of those dudes. But this was also a very heavily modified
Yeah.
VR4, but it was so nice. So nice.
Yeah, the fastest I've been in a car as a passenger was about 150 miles an hour, and that was in a 2014 GT 500. Once it finally gathered up some traction, because
Yeah.
first and second were useless, but that thing was just a torque monster freight train. And then the fastest I've ever gone in my own cars was my 280Z, my S30Z, around 140. And my Lincoln Mark 8, when I figured out that if you leave it in third gear instead of overdrive, it'll sail right past the speed limiter. So I was doing a little over a $140 when I just started running out of the road and had to back off. But that was probably
I
a
love
150, 155 mile an hour car all day long.
I love those Mark 8s. They're so. You have the new space age design going.
The thing is, though, if you look at the whole dash into the door
Yeah.
panels and the whole center stack cluster of those, and then you flip it and mirror it, flip it 180 degrees, basically do a mirror image, it's an 88 Mazda Cosmo.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the Cosmo dash,
Now you say that, yeah.
I was like, bam, now I know where Ford got the design for the Mark 8 dash.
Oh, speaking of the 3000 GTs, the VR4s, I still remember one of the first IFOs that I ever went to when Davin still had his. Him running almost a 13
That's
flat at
Sure.
Gainesville, and you know how horribly they fucking prepped that track there.
Here's the thing. Most tracks on test and tune nights, don't do super amounts of prep. They just don't make any money when they do.
Yeah, but this is also where they do, you know, competitions for, you know,
Does anybody want to
bracket races and all that.
Yeah, I can keep one.
But,
What's happening?
Oh, I see blue.
Yep, and we have a picture on screen. You know what? Good enough. It'll have to do.
It does.
We're having technical issues again.
Yeah, we're having some issues with this camera setup, guys. It's gonna have to be fixed at some point.
Ooh.
What dues we has here, Mr. Michael?
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
Fantastic color.
Mm.
Little
The
haziness.
plum, the smell of the plum is really
It's
strong.
right up front.
Well, hold on. I gotta finish pouring it. Is your
Oh,
thing
yeah.
empty?
The plum is there.
Oh, that one's full. Let me see one of the empty ones. This is one that I picked out today. Fuck, who is it by?
Mm.
That's a good.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, Hidden Springs Ale Works. We've had the, Brian, remember the one with the bear shooting the laser beams out of his eyes and all that stuff? The crazy artwork?
Was I here for that one?
Yes, you were.
I was.
Yes.
Wasn't that one called Bear Lasers or something
Yes,
like that?
yeah.
I do not recall that.
Bear and lasers, that's what it was.
I'm thinking that may have happened when I was not here.
No, you were.
I do not recall this one.
Oh, well.
I do not recall bears with lasers.
This one is,
Pretty sure I
can you see it, guys?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, it is I am the Walrus. It is a
Cuckoo,
Berlin, right?
Berliner Weiss with plum and bourbon-soaked oak chips. Keep cold, drink fresh. And that's it. There's no description on
Yep.
this one.
It is 5.5%.
But yeah, holy crap, the plum is.
I just
The
saw
plum is
the
there.
thing and was like, yep, no, we gotta try this.
All right.
They also have a golden honey ale
Really?
too. I'll have to add some into there. But
Clank, bitch.
clink, clink. It smells really good.
It's tart.
It's tart. Like it's got some sour to it.
It's tart. Got
It
some
goes
carbonate.
away.
The plum is really good.
The tartness goes away.
Yeah, right away.
Fairly
As soon
clean.
as you swallow it, it's very clean.
Bit more carbonation than the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that plum.
Very slight hint of the bourbon.
Which is slightly good because we've had some that are
I'm not getting any of the bourbon. I'm not
no,
gonna lie.
no,
It's-
after breath. It's on the breath.
It's subtle. It's at the finish. It's at the back.
But I'm okay
Sort of
with
pop-
Oh,
that.
there it is. Okay.
Just sort of pops up afterwards. Says,
I'm okay with that because we've had some of the bourbon ones that have been
It's
like
too overpowered.
yeah.
oh no, we had some bourbon when we first started. Decided, okay, let's go to this beer thing.
And
let's
this
get
is
some,
before we started Pints and Pistons.
way before. This is when we was like,
That's
hey,
where we
let's.
found Hawaiian Line.
Yes.
Oh god.
So
I
it was.
fucking
So
love that
we're
thing.
we're trying all these different beers, and we both do not like IPAs. We tried some bourbon barrel beers. It was like
Me and him went to the IPAs.
literally,
that
it
were-
was like the one right next door. Like, can we have a sample of that real quick? And we're using IPAs to cleanse our palate from the
Uh-huh.
shit we just had.
no,
That's
so,
really good though.
so bad to. I mean, these IPAs that we tried earlier were like horrible. Like I'd rather lick
But-
carpet.
I still.
But they were
I
better.
still stand by the
But-
the best one that we've had was the one I brought, the Boulevard Rye on Rye.
for a
that
bourbon one.
Yeah,
for a bourbon one.
That was
Yes,
good. And
one was good.
that high octane Goose Island one that we
Yes.
tried it.
Like,
Oh, that one was my
yes,
favorite.
Like
Yeah, but-
they were good, but imagine to the point where you're licking the side of a charred barrel. That's what it tasted like.
Yeah.
To where I picked. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
lick
was-
the
yeah.
floor. I'm gonna lick the carpet in a bowling alley, versus drinking.
Just to
game
clean
goes.
the stench
Yeah.
off my tongue.
Yeah,
This is
it was
really
horrible.
Yeah, it was
No,
horrible.
this is really.
No, this
Actually,
was
I
really
like
good.
this.
This is really good.
I like this.
But yeah, me and him had a couple of the bourbon barrel
Oh,
beers that were just
fucking
like,
horrible.
oh my god, they were horrible.
You're like, why did you do this? This is awful.
And it's one of those things about
And here's
it
the
now.
thing, even not liking IPAs, that was the night that I discovered I truly don't like IPAs, but even then it was like, you know what? This was a beer and it was given to me free so I could try it. I am not pouring this bitch out just on general principle.
But those other
One
ones,
sip of
we
those bourbon
literally
beers, in the
found-
trash they went.
There
Yeah.
was a
Give
like,
me another one of those IPAs.
There was
Yeah,
literally
wash my
a
mouth out.
bucket where you could wash out shit that we went. Yep, no, whole thing going
Yeah,
on
because
there.
when you walked in, they gave you a small cup, and that was for sampling.
Right.
And so we just went around.
What,
We just
what did
started,
we do? We spent like $15. I think it was
It might not even
15, 20. I don't even
It
remember
was
what
it was ridiculously inexpensive.
Sabrina was the designated driver.
Sabrina was the driver.
And this is the first time I fully saw Brian get drunk.
It was like I fulfilled a lifelong dream.
I mean, no, I was shit faced to where I fell asleep as soon as we left the parking
Oh
lot.
yeah, as soon as we left the parking lot, he was out.
But getting Brian to the car, Brian's going hobble, 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 and I'm in front of him going, I got the one-legged man drunk.
Well, what did
And then
it?
we got to the car. I fell asleep. I don't remember past that.
What really did me in that night was after we'd kind of gone around everything. It was like
We went
it was
back
like the
to
fourth.
Hawaiian
It was like
Lion,
the fourth to the last beer that we tried was the Hawaiian Lion,
which is also 9%.
and I just kept sending him back. I was like, hey, we should sample that one again because it was really awesome.
I don't remember how that one tasted. Give me another one.
Yeah, we should just keep on trying that one.
To the point where the last time I went up there, the guy's just like, here, I have regular sized cups. Have it.
There you
And
go.
we're like,
There you go.
yes, Brian, I got us.
Yeah, so we're the only one rocking essentially the
Solo cup type
Yeah,
deal
fucking
Nice.
red Solo cups
versus
full-
like the
little mugs that
4
we got.
ounce
Yeah, the little
thing.
mugs that we got. I still have mine, by the way.
Like, but
I wish
no,
they would do that again.
That was
Corona.
but that was where we found a Hawaiian Lion, which I gotta say, I think we tried it on what, like the
I
third
think it was
episode, second or third episode.
might have been EP1.
No,
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 Hawaiian
it wasn't
Lion
the
was like
first one.
episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was early
But
on
that,
because it was
and I
just one
have
of the
not been able to find it since then.
sad.
Hawaiian Lion?
I
Yes.
found
You
it
see
at
Crystal River all the time.
yeah.
Well, if you find it, get it because we have not been able to find it.
Okay.
I've seen it up there, but I've been buying other beers.
But Hawaiian Lion is, and it's one of those. You're not a
ABC
coconut
here in
fan.
Inverness doesn't carry it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't
He's
like.
not a coconut fan.
I don't like coconut. I mean, coconut flavor is okay. It's a texture thing, really.
Yeah,
But like overbearing coconut, I don't like.
but it's also got that bit of a coffee flavor.
And that was the first coffee stout that I tried. And
Yeah,
it was the
it
first
smelled
time that
like
I
it tasted.
It was
Well,
the
it
first time
tasted
that I
like
got to
smell.
experience coffee that tasted the way roasted coffee smells, and I was like, I don't care if it's in a dark ass beer. The dark ass beer itself is good. It's got a little bit of coconut in it, but holy fuck, this whole thing is just awesome. And we just kept sampling that
yeah,
because it
no,
was
that-
fantastic.
That
I don't
besides
think
being like
I've
the
ever
red
had
right,
it.
Oh, dude, you.
besides being like the red beers that
The
we
dark beer
absolutely
with carrot?
love, as a dark
Did
beer,
you ever see that
that-
right there?
yes, I
What?
did.
Did you ever see that?
I
one
did,
right there?
but it's
Yeah.
been a while. It's been a
If
while.
you find Hawaiian, Big Top
Do yourself a
Hawaiian
favor.
Lion, it's a coconut coffee porter.
Now the 6-pack is going to cost you about 15,
Yeah, it wasn't. It
15
wasn't
to 17
inexpensive.
bucks.
It wasn't an expensive beer,
but
and it's a high octane beer. So it's like that's one you just. I've had my meal,
you have
and
one.
I'm just gonna sit back and I'm going to enjoy this beer.
You don't do it with a steak, with a good roast.
A roast, or I mean, if you do just salt and pepper on a ribeye, sear it off really good.
But something like
Let
that
it
to
rest.
where
We
it's
definitely-
a
I don't know if you could. I don't know how you like your steak. I mean, I'm kind of a medium
medium
rare kind of
rare,
guy.
yeah.
I am too.
But I mean, some people like rare, some people like blue, which is a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
no.
And some people
It-
like to turn their shit into charcoal.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
beyond medium rare is just turned into charcoal.
But Dad, what if they want their steak medium well? Well, then you politely
but firmly
ask
tell
them
them to
to
leave.
Yeah.
No, you don't ask them. You tell them to leave.
They
That's
like their
why-
steak medium well. They'll leave if you ask them.
No, that's why I tell everybody, hey, I'm cooking steaks. Yeah, okay. If you want anything besides medium rare to medium, if you want anything past that,
You'll be the
I'm
one.
I'm not cooking it. You can cook it.
You'll be the one pulling it off the grill.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
do.
no.
Enjoy your boot leather.
Exactly. Exactly. I got a pair of Converse in there that the dog loves to chew on. Like
We got an old tire out back here and just chewing on that for a
I got
half
about 7 of them in the shed right now. I'll let
Sure,
you chew
got a
on
leather belt's been hanging out in the closet for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
That'll do.
them. Yeah.
Eat that.
But yeah, like I said, so that's a
Medium
that's a
rare.
beer that, and honestly, I don't even think you really want that beer with your meal.
You want it after.
That's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what?
It's almost like a dessert beer
Mhm.
because it does have a little bit of sweetness to
From
it.
the coconut, but
Yeah.
not a lot. It's just sort of, it's hanging out back there.
But it's a
But
dessert
the coffee,
beer.
the roasted coffee is up front. And it's,
Right. Speaking of food pairings, by the way, this.
Oh,
Because this actually has a very striking resemblance to like a plum wine.
I would throw
Oh.
I would throw this down with a really good center cut rib chop pork all day long.
Now, see, I want to
I feel like this would pair really well with like hibachi, like some Asian food,
Yeah.
something like that.
See, I want to be the odd person out on this.
I was
And now,
gonna
you
say-
know how much I love, like, you know, my steaks, all that stuff.
You gonna say you'd throw this down with some fish?
Yeah.
I was going to say a hearty salad.
The acidity would work with a salad too.
Hey,
no, you know what?
No, listen.
Imagine
a
this
heart-
cooked
There
into a
seems to be a mistake. You are speaking of the food that my
I
food
know,
is.
but still, no, like a hearty salad, like something that has like a decent salad with, you know, homemade croutons, like grilled.
Decent salad. What is this thing?
You
that
could
speak-
almost make this into a dressing and sprinkle it on a salad. The acidity's
No,
there.
but listen, like a grilled chicken or
Blackened.
something like that.
Blackened
Yes,
chick-
a
like a blackened
yes,
chicken.
blackened.
Did I just blow your mind a little bit?
Hold on.
No,
No.
you got the wheels turning. I'm kind
Hey,
of wondering
hey,
what this would do
blackened-
if you actually threw this in a pot and just did a slow reduction on this. I wonder what would happen.
Right.
Mm.
No, Chris and Brian, think of this: a blackened chicken salad. So like good chunks of blackened chicken and all that. This with a good vinaigrette.
That's what I'm saying. This mixed into a dressing.
Like I
Or
mean,
done
that
in a
can't be
reduction
like
sauce?
even
Well,
if
no,
that's
what he's,
one of
what
those
he's
where
talking
that's not
about
a full
is
meal,
basically
just,
doing a vinaigrette dressing on your chicken salad and having
and
this.
having this with
pairing
that,
this
just
with it.
just with the, I can see it with the greens or all that, or even cooking greens in this. Like I can see people might
I
hate me
don't
for this.
know.
I love my collard greens.
I do
Pour
too,
in some
but-
of this instead.
Yeah, I don't know
I think the
about that.
plum would be
Yeah,
too
I'm
much.
not- never been into collard greens for whatever reason, which is weird because I'm actually OG flirting. So.
See, because when I eat my salads, you know what I do on my salads?
OG
Throw
flirting.
them away like everyone else does.
No, if I eat a salad, I don't put dressing on. I take lemon wedges and
Yeah, oh,
squeeze
yeah.
it over a salad, throw a little bit of salt on it, and that's it. That's all I put on a salad. I don't
See,
like dressing.
I put vinegar on a salad, depending on the thing. Rice
I'm
vinegar is
the
one
other
of my
guy
favorites
who
as
drowns
well.
his salad in salad dressing. 'cause
I
It
don't-
looks like
I don't-
somebody whacked a salad. It's a piece of lettuce floating around in
Right.
dressing.
Swim with the fishes, buddy.
But no, actually, if
Yeah,
you
no,
did,
like
if
I
you did a
said-
reduction, like I said, and put
No. I'm not even talking.
Whitefish.
I'm not even
put
talking
this
about.
over whitefish.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about adding anything. I'm literally talking about just putting this
Yeah,
into a pan,
and
and just-
reducing it.
let it go. Just do a slow.
Maybe a little bit of flour just to give it a little bit
No,
of
I'm kind of thinking just let the sugars
Do
do its
that?
thing and just do a reduction on this thing and just let
But
it go.
this over. I got it. Like it just hit me. Like fully just hit me. A cedar plank salmon. This is what you follow it up with.
Yeah. No, you know what I thought, what I
cedar
thought
plank
you were going to
salmon.
say, though? Is a
Well,
little bit of that sprinkled into your
Coleslaw.
the coleslaw.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, no,
Sorry.
Nope,
Nope, nope. Sorry, got it. That,
Hit-
that's
Okay,
absolute-
fair enough,
absolute
fair enough.
foul.
That's what I thought you were going to
Well,
say, though.
absolute foul.
I
I know.
got it.
I kind of like where your head's at, but then again, I just have to call. Coleslaw's one
We're
of those
not
things.
full white people who don't add raisins to our fucking coleslaw.
Oh God, someone did that shit. I did.
I'm saying for the acidity.
Yeah,
Like that is your acid component instead of a straight vinegar.
I don't. I mean,
Hold
this
on,
has got some
is
acidity.
Rob still commenting or no? When was the last?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I'll have to ask him about this and tell him to go back. But Rob, so right now I'm talking to you from the future. Tell us about this because Rob is also one of the other ones that I do, whiskey tasting, wine tasting, all that stuff
Mhm.
with. He's one of the ones that I go to Spooky with, and that. And me and him are the same. We love raisin ice cream. We love our Golden Girls and our wonderful
Stay golden.
robes and all
Stay
that.
golden.
Exactly. This is actually something I'll have to try to find it because next Friday we leave for vacation to go to Spooky Net. I'll have to probably stop by ABC.
Either Publix or ABC and grab
yeah,
some
and
of this.
get another one of these because I really think that me and him can come up with a dish to pair this like fully. Me and him can sit down, pair this with something, and make it. And
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this here, I could.
it's really good, but
As far as having it in a glass next to a meal, I think you're onto something with like a cedar plank salmon
or something like
with
that.
some really nice olive oil roasted green beans with a little bit of garlic to them.
Pork with a cherry glaze on it.
I like where your head's at.
Pork with
A
a
sweet
cherry,
pork with a cherry glaze.
Wait,
Yep.
No. Kind of skip off on the glaze. Just add a little bit of the brown sugar from a rib rub.
Oh yes.
Roasted pork, rib roast, like I did for Thanksgiving, with a brown sugar glaze on it instead of the savory glaze that I used, paired with this.
Yeah.
So here tonight on Pints and Pistons Cooking Show.
And today on the cooking show,
Yeah.
You evolved into some food
You
pairings
are
today.
the most fucked up Julia Childs I have ever goddamn seen.
eggs, bacon, ham, spam, and more spam.
Spam.
Oh well. You have the spam.
All right, Mel Brooks.
Don't tell me that.
So, guys, seriously,
Fucking kitchen nightmares now. Thanks, Dick.
we go from cars and beers to
Whatever tangents we end up going off on.
tangerines. You know what we could do tangerines with?
Here we go.
Hey, it's the Lost Coast Tangerine beer.
Oh god.
Oh man.
That one was good.
So
That was summer in a glass. Like,
Yeah.
legit summer in a glass.
last Saturday, I went over to Sidebar to go hang out with everybody from work after we got off. And I get to Sidebar, and I
You
walk
won't
in,
go to
I
Pine
order a
Street
beer,
anymore.
and I go to walk out where everybody's hanging out. They're like, "Hey, we're going over to Coach's. Hurry up and
I'm
drink that."
Sorry.
And I went, but I just got it. And they're like, "Well, drink fast." And I went, "Okay. All right, let's go." And they're all looking at me like, "What? Did you just chug that whole thing?"
You said drink
You
fast.
said drink fast. Like, because they've never seen me drink. They've never seen me, like, actually go on a drinking binge for the night. And I think I kind of surprised them a little bit. It was kind of funny.
Why don't you go to our favorite place, Pine Street Pub? For real.
Because I don't work for the owner of Pine Street Pub. I work for the owner of Sidebar.
Okay, so he pays you money to go drink at his bar?
No, but he...
Dude, you're like a coal miner getting fucked by the company store. Next thing you know, you're gonna be having the black lung.
I know. I'm just busting your chops there. I'm
Come on.
I'm busting your chops because
Who else do you know would throw out an old school miner's riff like that?
Hey, it's okay because we love Sam too. Because
It's alright, we Britney Spears'd you last time you were at Pine Street, so...
I wasn't inside getting a beer, listening to Culture Conundrum out front, and you drove by.
You did.
You did. He drove by Culture Conundrum and didn't even stop.
I had to go to the Sidebar. I was meeting people.
Drove right past.
And you drove right past me and didn't even stop, so...
Because I was drunk and trying to go home. Not driving, walking. I was walking home. So, bring a trailer.
And on that
Oh yeah, we gotta
note,
go back to Bring a Trailer now.
Yes, on Bring a Trailer. So Bring a Trailer, this is actually Mikey's pick. Mikey said he wanted to do this car, and I decided to go with it.
Okay, hold on, give it a second. Sorry, Sabrina just got home from doing stuff. Dogs are going crazy in their crates.
Wait. Oh, that's why. Okay,
Just-
hang on. No, I want to go up.
As soon as you open it, wing a dang a dang a
Bang.
dang a dang a dang a dang a dang a wing a dang 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 a.
Zip it. So what we have here is a no reserve 5.0 liter powered 1964 Falcon, and this is where part one of the title of our show, Provenance, YouTube Provenance, comes in. This is the car that is owned by, or was owned by, Regular Car Guy Reviewer.
Regular car review.
car
Whatever.
reviews
Yeah, that guy.
car. It's his Falcon and it went for sale. Yeah, he
I honestly
modified it and built it.
I
And then
honestly
he
think
put
he
it
would
up for
appreciate me fucking
sale.
up the name of his channel. So there's that. So this car's
Hold on. What we have here is a 1964.
I can't do that voice. I'm not even gonna try.
1964
What we have
Ford
here,
Falcon with a
1964
5-liter motor that's got converted to carburetor with an AOD transmission. What do you mean it has a 5-liter in it? It should have a 260 in it.
I'm just gonna sit back
The
and
Ford Falcon.
I'm just-
This is the car your grandfather drove after the war.
Oh, Edna, I'm gonna plow you in the back seat so hard.
I'm just gonna sit back and let these guys take care of this one on you.
So guys that drive Ford Falcons are basically like your old car guys,
How's
but
it going, Will?
they're not
How's it going
into
over there,
the
buddy?
interesting
Good.
cars. They're into
Enjoying
the
that beer?
boring cars
I'm
like
good.
Falcons.
I'm the
I'm not gonna
I
have
like
a
it.
Mustang. That's the secretary's car. I got a family and I want a back seat so I can plow your mother in it when you're not home.
You do that so well too.
That's kinda
the
there.
best part.
That's kind of right there, man.
Oh my god.
Look.
Paint chips.
So this Ford Falcon.
All right, guys.
Okay.
All right, so this
Sorry.
it has it's got a 4-wheel disc brake conversion. It's got some wheel Ventique 17-inch steel wheels with moon caps, carbureted 302, AOD transmission.
Mooncaps, mooncaps, mooncaps.
It's got a Mustang 2 style front end on it, so it got rid of the shock towers and all that. Obviously, it has the lucky rule to keep cargo straight. It's got paint issues. The interior's all right. The underside, it's not super rusty. It's a little bit beat up. Looks like the subframe rail's been used as jack points for its whole life. But obviously, it is a solid survivor kind of car. It says lasted this long. It'll probably last forever as long as you take care of it. But the interesting thing is does this car being owned by a fairly well-known YouTuber kind of affect what people will pay for it?
I think so.
I think
And it is
so,
a
too.
4-door. Notice it's a 4-door, not a 2-door. So it's not like somebody's going to take this car and build a Thunderbolt clone or something like that with it. Somebody's just going to drive this car around and cruise in it.
This car's worth more because it's owned by a YouTuber. This car's famous. See, my car's better than your car because it's owned by a YouTuber and it's famous.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I had to get that
Hey,
last
guys,
one in
okay,
there.
so while we're doing this, like, we're not poking fun at regular car reviews because
We're paying homage to him at
we
this point.
absolutely love regular car reviews.
Yes.
They are amazing, everything that they do and all their production and that. We laugh every single time a new one comes out. I'm like, guys, you gotta watch this. They hit the nail on the head. They do a full breakdown on the car plus
More.
When he
the
goes off,
aesthetics of being an owner of that.
but not only that, when he goes off on like what we think of like the stereotypical owner of whatever cars he's reviewing, he
nails it.
He nails it on the head, but then he adds just that little bit to it that makes you go.
See, my Corvette's the best Corvette because it's got this. My Corvette's the rarest Corvette. They only made 100 of these Corvettes.
But my Corvette has one of those lean little crying children on it because, man, I own a Corvette.
Those little things of the
I
world.
don't know. I think my favorite one from him was the Buick Roadmaster
And
review.
every
dude.
one of
I
those
love
things
that
you
one.
set on
That
fire.
one was the fucking best.
But
No,
knowing,
the Dodge Challenger Hellcat review was probably my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
but knowing that this thing has $4 for more whores, man. I
80,000 miles shown, total mileage unknown.
am gonna say
Carbureted 302, Ford AOD, automatic transmission, true track differential, red over gray cloth and vinyl, modified suspension, 4-wheel disc, custom 17-inch wheels, records from current ownership, and obviously it is a private party. So,
I
You know
know
what?
what I have to
Nope.
low ball
Okay.
me, bro.
I'm going to hit you guys twice with this one.
Okay.
What do you think this car would bring if it were
Oh,
not
okay,
a YouTuber car?
Yep.
And what do you? And then what do you? Obviously, like our standard rules, what do you think it actually brought? But first, I want to know what you think it would be worth.
Excuse me. God damn it, Edna! We're trying to film a show back here.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Welcome home.
Sorry, we're doing the regular.
Okay.
We're doing the regular car reviews. Falcon that just
Give me
sold.
the James May. Oh.
So,
Hello.
Hello.
so we did our
We're
wonderful
gonna try to
regular.
the cogs are up.
Our regular car reviews voices, and you missed it. They were wonderful. You're gonna have to go back and watch them.
Okay.
So anyway, what do you think a car like this car would bring outside of being a YouTuber's car? I mean,
So, do we want to do that first?
Yeah.
What do you think it would bring?
and there's no real right or wrong answer on
Yeah.
this one. It's just I'm kind of curious.
Just for me, just knowing that it has been swapped over to a Fox Body 302 with a carburetor. He put the carburetor onto it because I believe it was a fuel injected motor, and they just decided to do that with an AOD. Yes, it is a 4-door. It's a clean body. The paint the way it is, like the paint's okay. It's a good 20-footer type deal. I would say if this was on, the local Craigslist or marketplace, I would see it go for probably about like 7,000.
No low ballers. I know what I got.
But still, 7,000. If that was me, like, hey, I had $8,000 in my pocket and I saw this pop up, 7,000, I would gladly,
Awesome.
I would gladly pay for that.
I'll say 12.
Here, Taylor, just like that.
All right. I'm gonna go a little higher than that.
Not like I said, not what the car actually brought.
Yeah,
What you,
yeah.
what you think a car like this
The
would
condition it's in, other than the paint being a little bit
What'd you say?
wonky.
I said if
Got a little
I
bite
had
to
it,
It's a
7,000.
sour.
7,000, I would be comfortable at paying that and be like, hey, I got a great car that I can go from. I would be more than happy to drive that from right where I'm at now to up to like Taylor Dragon type deal. Not necessarily down Taylor Dragon, but I could go from here to there, not have any problems. I'm happy at $7,000.
I would say, being a Falcon, they're not as popular, but there is a bit of a following for a Falcon. There is a
Dude, they're
fan
free
base for
Mustang
that car. Exactly. The fact that it's got a modern engine swapped into it, it's got a modern front end swapped onto it, it's all the hard work has been done.
Yep.
And it's a solid driver. You can
and
hop in that
adds-
car
that-
right now and drive
yeah.
to North Carolina. no issue.
That adds the reliability to it.
What I'm gonna say is that's probably a $12,000 to $14,000 car.
See,
As it sits.
I think you're going for a 2-door.
No,
To be dead serious.
I mean,
if
for
you-
one in that condition with the paint issues and whatever's lurking underneath those paint issues that might be causing some of those, you're really looking. You're
at a 2-door
You're at a
version.
2-door money right there.
for a 4-door,
If
You're-
it
you're
were
also
all
sitting- you're also
factory-
sitting about 2-door money,
If it were all factory,
but it's not.
I would say less for a 4-door. If it were the factory front end, factory engine, factory transmission, I would say 7 to 8. But having the modern drivetrain swapped in, it's one of those cars that actually brought the value up in my eyes. Because it's a car you can drive.
I just find it funny that he's calling it a mid-'80s transmission market.
I know.
Modern compared to the 1960s that it was built
I mean,
in.
compared to the 2-speed auto that was in the thing, you're right. But
All the stuff that you really need to upgrade to make it a daily drivable car in this day and age has been done, which to me brings the value up to about the $12,000 to $14,000 range.
I'm with Mike right around $8,000.
I'm actually lower than this. To me, that's a $5,000 car.
Yeah. See, and Chris, we're not saying you're
Like I
wrong.
said,
You
you also
are
got a
wrong. You are
factory.
wrong. We're not
You're not
saying
saying
you're wrong.
I mean,
I'm
obviously,
with Chris.
obviously, my default position is you guys are wrong. But like I said, to me, without the YouTube connection, that's a $5,000 car.
Right.
And I really think that the 7 that I said would be a higher price point. What you're saying, I'm being serious on this.
Yeah, you two were kind of.
That's 2-door. If it was a 2-door, yes, by all means, 10 to 12, yes.
Yeah, and I would be saying if that were
all day
honestly,
long.
if that were a 2-door, I would be looking at just enough things that I would have to do to it. because the Falcons are over there. If that were a two-door car, I'd be sitting at about 9.
Now, what do we think because it has the YouTube prominence? Now,
And
was
since you're out here, you're and you didn't.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I don't.
Exactly.
I didn't see this
No,
car.
She's
no,
still I guess into it.
it popped up on YouTube, the final moments of the thing, and that's immediately it when I was standing next to him when it popped up, and I'm like, don't look at YouTube. They're doing the final. There was like an hour left, and
nobody
he
look
was
at
live.
Nobody look at Bring a Trailer. They're doing the
Yeah.
Falcon.
Who's the YouTuber? I missed.
Regular car
Regular car
reviews.
reviews.
Regular car review.
Oh, it's his car.
Yeah, that's why we were all doing
Reviews, I
that.
do.
He's,
And that's why-
he's got a pretty decent following.
And that's why I said, that's the title of our show. Is
And that's when
Provenance
your
and
uncle
Japanese
pulls up to the
cars.
thing like, hey, is there any young girls I can get with tonight?
He's got a decent
So yeah, like I said, so I mean,
I was at
so the
12 before.
So the first part of it was basically, what do you think a car like this would be without the YouTube connection? Now, I'm
I'll
gonna
go
ask you.
15.
I'm gonna ask you guys what you think this car actually sold for.
Now
I'll go
it's a
50.
YouTuber's car, and we're gonna get the money for it.
Keep in mind, this was not like Farrah's car. Farrah's Mustang was sold for charity, which,
this one was
and
not.
just like when you're watching the Barrett Jackson auctions,
Yeah.
you see a car go off for charity.
Everybody goes ham.
Those cars will absolutely set a record,
Mhm.
and it's not so much because the car is setting a
It's
record.
because
It's
it's
because,
charity.
It's for charity.
and a lot of
because-
times you'll see those cars. The guy who will win the car
We'll give it back.
will immediately put it right back up
Right.
for auction
The-
to go for charity
Well,
again.
not
So-
even that. You can see the people that pay, like, yeah, it sold for $1 million. No, sell it again right now, and it's not going for charity. I don't own it. Just try to do it
Right.
because they also get a price break on,
And those people have a lot of money.
Well,
Tax
well, it's
write-offs.
also
Part, I was about to say, part of that's tax
taxes.
I
and
pay
all
$1 million
that.
for a
For charity,
$40,000
yeah.
car. I get to write that money
Yeah,
off,
for-
and then I
yeah.
put the car up for sale. I get and donate that money to charity. Not only do I get to write the
Yeah.
actual value
Yeah.
of the car off, but whatever gets donated to charity for that
You get to
auction,
write
I
off.
get to write off
Roll
again.
that over too, yep.
It's a win-win.
It's
So-
just like the art world.
But even so, I mean, obviously though, the flip side of that is you see some pretty worthy charities. All of a sudden, they get a big influx of cash.
But it's
Right.
And
good.
regardless
No,
of what the
it's-
reasons behind it are,
Yeah.
they still get the influx of cash,
Right.
and they still get to do some good work because of it.
And it's great. And that can be another topic.
But yeah,
that
so
we
like I
can do
said,
with
so charity auction cars like some of the ones you see at Barrett Jackson and Matt Farrah's Mustang,
Yeah.
those are the outliers because there's additional influences on this. So
Yeah.
this is a car that is a YouTuber car with a pretty decent following. While it's not a spectacular car,
21,000.
like I said, I'm at $5,000 on this car.
21,000.
If it were just not a YouTuber car or whatever, I would look at this car and
21,001.
Fuck you.
oh,
There's my one right there, motherfucker.
Price is Right douche move.
Oh, I came in way low then. I feel
Sabrina?
I feel bad. I came in at 15.
Same 18.5.
He's gonna be mad.
Oh.
$9,469.
Wow! Holy shit!
$9,469.
So I guess YouTube prominence doesn't mean jack diddly shit.
Honestly, I think it might have to do with the YouTuber themselves. I mean, like,
Wait a
Wow!
minute,
Okay.
What did you come in at?
18.5.
Shit, did that mean I win?
You were over.
yeah, you
Oh,
all
I
went
was
over.
over.
All of y'all went over.
Wow,
I mean,
figured
hell.
the-
Mikey and me were the only ones that were under the sale price when we were just like the non-YouTuber thing. Both you guys were over. You guys
Yeah.
were all over for that.
Mm.
And like I
Chris.
said,
4 doors.
for more whores.
Exactly.
Okay, but
wow, that's
so-
insane.
Now here's the
Nice.
thing. So, sort of brings into the question though, what would happen if say Cletus threw up a car,
Then that would
Or-
have been like
or
21.
Rob
That's what I'm
Dom,
thinking.
not necessarily this car, but say
Rob Ferretti threw up a car. I mean, he's got a decent following too, but
I mean,
Yeah,
if
but Rob-
Cletus has him even big.
but Rob Ferretti leases cars. That's kind of his thing.
See,
Um,
well, hold on. I gotta say about that because even regular car reviews has a damn good following behind them. They have a lot of fucking subscribers in that. I just think that the people that watch regular car reviews are like us. They know the price point of cars. They know the value of cars. They know what certain upgrades and all that go. They're a regular car reviewer. For his car and that, I remember, I think he bought that car for like $3,000 or $4,000, and everything that he had done.
Yeah, like
to it
Brian
and
said though, what if it was like Cletus or something like that? That's
at
got
that point, you get more people that aren't
ridiculous following.
But well, at that point, you get more people that aren't as like us, that are just, oh, this thing was owned by yada yada yada. I'll pay, you know, blah 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 for it.
That would be like Cletus saying, okay, I'm auctioning off the Crown Vic tomorrow, and I guarantee you that car
Yes,
would
like-
but
cost
also,
stupid fucking money.
what
Like
you're
even,
saying,
not even Neighbor, even if they did the other one, Chief.
yeah, his daily
The
driver.
dark one.
Yeah, the dark one, if they
dark
are-
That's
Chief.
all
Yeah.
stock. Because
That
when
car-
when you're talking about neighbor, you're talking about $20,000-$30,000 worth of upgrades that are already on the car.
Well, the
that-
only problem is you never get your mod money back.
Yes, but
Yeah.
when you
The
think
only-
about
and honestly,
when you
Neighbor
throw in the YouTuber
Neighbor
thing
would
to
be
it,
Neighbor would be the exception to that. As would Ruby, as would Leroy,
Yeah.
you know, any of those
because of
cars.
the content that is followed.
Right.
Yeah, like I said,
This
because
was
like I
his
said, there's
personal car that only had about 3 or 4 videos that it was ever, besides them working on it, in. It wasn't his channel isn't
But I
about that
guarantee you-
car, it's about other cars.
Okay, let's take another example. The Lamulets race, the Freedom 500. If he were to take the car he raced in, hey, this is the car I raced in and drove. We fixed it so it's drivable. I'm auctioning it off.
you would have two sets of people that would be bidding on that car. You would have people like me or us that would be looking at, okay, it's a Crown Vic, it's got a nitrous kit, a cage, and some nittos on it.
If I can get that for $3,000, fuck yeah.
I'd pay $25, but it's been beat to shit. It's had the shit beat out of it.
But because
I
of
might
who
pay
it is.
I might pay $2,000 for it. I might kick in another $500 because it was Cleveland's
Yeah,
car.
and if you were to do something like that, I guarantee
Okay,
that
but I'm
car would
just-
probably sell for anywhere between $5 and $10,000, just because
Exactly.
but-
of who it is.
But the
But
buyer,
again-
the buyer of that car at that price is
It's not a
It's
car
not.
person. He's
Yeah.
just going off of the YouTube probability.
Yeah, it's people.
where-
It's people who buy shit that belong to
The
several
person that
celebrities.
Yeah.
I am telling you, the person that bought this car, if they are a fan of regular car review, that's dead serious about what that car was probably like. That's the top of the line. That person was like, you know what? I know the car. I've seen his work. Yada yada yada. 9,500 is what I'm gonna pay and feel comfortable with. And you know what?
I'm surprised it went that low, though, to be honest with you.
But
I figured it would go a little bit more than that.
All right.
Even with the YouTube connection, I mean, I was honestly, if I were the one guessing on that, I would have been $2,000 below that price. Just looking at the car, even with the regular car guy connection, my guess, not knowing what it was going for, my guess would have been about $7,500, and I was $5,000 without the YouTube connection.
All right. Moving on.
Cars and bids, and this car definitely has some features and quirks.
Hey, I just realized there's
Subaru.
there's a yellow submarine on there.
As Doug would say. But so keeping with our 90s Japanese theme, so I figured this was solidly in the realm of that. It's a 1997
FVX.
Subaru SVX, also called the Alcyon in Japan.
Yep.
These had a flat six. They only came with automatic transmissions, which was pretty much like glass.
Give a fun fact to Sabrina about the windows. Because Sabrina doesn't know about this car.
See, my windows were cooler on my car because the windows only rolled down on the part of the thing.
And we have the whole thing there.
And the
And
whole
I
thing
get
is-
rained on.
And I don't get rained on whenever I roll my windows
Side
down.
windows, only the
I
bottom.
go to
Except I actually do get rained on. It's just that it was supposed to not rain on me, but I actually get rained on, but I'm not gonna get rained on.
When I go to Cars and Coffee, they go, oh, I love you, Subaru.
That's a cool Subaru, bro. I've never seen a Subaru like that.
Now, actually, the last time I saw one of these on the road was right around here. It was a metallic green one, and that had to have been
Yes.
about 5 years ago.
And you know who it was? My parents' neighbor.
Really?
Yep. When I lived
And that
with
car
my,
was
when I
that-
lived with my parents 2 houses down from us,
What was that car?
they were from Michigan. They came down here for only 5 months, and they had that metallic green one that drove around Homosassa, Crystal River.
And
that-
Immortus, because that's where I saw it. It was right here in downtown.
It had 55,000 miles. They were the original buyers for it. They bought it from Clearwater Subaru.
So yeah, that was probably the cleanest one I've ever seen, and that was actually the last one that I've ever seen on the road. Was
It
the
was
car
an
you just
automatic
talked-
too, by the way.
They're all automatics, like the Cosmo. They only came with autos.
160,936 miles.
So
on the
this
clock.
is a 1997 Subaru SVX, nearly unmodified LSI from final year of production. Fairview, Pennsylvania, 161,000 miles, 3.3 liter Fat 6, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 4-speed automatic. Bordeaux Pearl beige interior, clean Pennsylvania title. It is from a dealer.
Ooh. Okay.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, but that adds a tiny bit to the price.
The winning bidder will receive a $250 shipping credit from the seller. Attached auto check history report shows no accident or mileage discrepancies. Carfax report included the gallery confirms this accident and rollback-free history. Shows 2 previous owners, likely due to the loan reported when this SVX was titled for the first time, while Carfax certifies it as a one-owner car. Huh. Wow. MSRP for this car in 1997 was $36,740.
Holy shit.
This was an expensive fucking car. That'd be like a 50 grand car now.
But
Or more.
But again, going on to our cars that we picked, a GT car. This wasn't
It's not a turbo car.
No.
it was a Grand Tourer,
I don't even think it was a Grand Tourer. I just think it was.
a touring.
I think it
sort
was
of.
a mild sports car, to be honest.
Well, Subaru's always done the all-wheel drive thing. That's just
Yeah.
kind of that's Subaru's deal right there. So I think they were just like, they just wanted a sportier looking or a futuristic looking kind of car. It was definitely,
Well, just like the first gen SVX, dude. It was like
yeah.
bikes over there.
So according to the selling dealer, engine oil and battery recently changed, and 4 new Bridgestone tires. Includes manual, sales brochure, and a 164 SVX made by Matchbox.
That is
Yeah.
cool. Was it the white one?
Yep.
It doesn't say.
This
It had
has
to have
got to be
been,
the
'cause
white
that
one.
had
That
to
was
be
the
the white one.
only one that they did.
It's the only one that they've done so
Yeah,
far.
so this is a replacement for the XT during the 1992 model year. So again, this is the design and every development of this car was right smack in the middle of the bubble era. So, I mean, and when you look at it, you can kind
The
of see.
SCX was.
So yeah. 1997 was the final year with 640 units. 640 units were sold in the United States.
Ooh.
Body colored grille is pretty much one of the things that separates them from the other ones. So it's got a lot of shit in it, though. I mean, 16-inch wheels, heated and adjustable door mirrors, keyless entry, leather, power adjustable front seats, split folding rear seats, power operated sunroof, automatic air conditioning, CD and cassette players, power operated antenna, and alarm system. And apparently all that shit works in this car.
Wow.
Really,
that's
the
a
only
rarity.
the only thing that I saw in the interior was
the back seat
the
was
one,
red.
Back seat
the one
red.
cell on the back seat, and it's just sun.
16,000.
Go ahead.
9,500.
Oh, you're here. You're guessing.
See, I don't know what the market is on those cars,
and
but I
that's a
feel like the
good
market's
fucking color
it's
on
a
that
good
car.
color, but it's got a lot of miles on it.
The only thing I noticed in the paintwork was a little bit of clear coat
On the roof.
on
Yeah,
the
I saw
roof.
that
On the
too.
glass
I mean,
roof, yeah.
You look at that, does not picture 90s
Yeah, but
JDM.
it's protected by Subaru's security system. Come on.
So it's got 160,000 miles on it.
Which, I mean, 1997, it's 23 years old.
But it's not one of those like low mileage cars or anything like that. It's a lot of miles.
But the one thing is, though, I mean, it's probably a car that has probably been well maintained all of its 161,000
The look
miles.
of it, that's a well-maintained car.
Look at
Well,
that.
it's an
does not
absolutely
look like-
immaculately maintained car. I'm not saying that. I am just saying the mileage hurts it to me. So I'm gonna say a little bit lower. I'm gonna say 7,200. I don't think the market's strong enough on those to go anywhere above 10. So.
Sabrina.
9.5.
I said 9.5.
Oh, I'll go a little higher and go 10.5.
What were you at?
16.
$5,350.
Oh,
Wow! Wow!
I knew it
Really?
wasn't gonna be stupid high. There's no
Really?
market for those cars.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the drawback on these is that the automatic transmission that's in them, they were pretty much made of glass.
Yeah.
So, you know, the idea of throwing any power to it, that's not going to happen. They're sort of a weird car.
They are.
They're an interesting car, but nobody cares.
Yeah, like I said, and you never,
I think if it was the first, I think it was the first gen SVX.
those were called the STs.
Or the STs.
Yeah,
I
those were
think
just
I think it'd be a little bit more because they were just boxy and weird and.
Yeah, but really, that's kind of also one of those forgotten cars. I mean,
It
it's
is.
kind of like, I mean, you look at any Mitsubishi, I mean, you really look at Mitsubishis, prices on them are all of it, you know, or just,
Yeah.
except for Evos. I mean, Evos are the ones.
The only way that car could have
Or a
possibly
Delica.
gone above the
Or a
$10,000
Delica.
mark, and what would have pushed it into a much higher realm, like a $20,000 plus car, is if it would have been lower mileage. If it had had 23,000 miles on it, yeah, 25K all day.
I think
Just because of the oddball collectability of it.
I think
There's somebody that wants to have that stuck in a garage somewhere next to his other collector cars
Yeah.
and go, look at this weirdo car from the early 90s.
I think Watch JR Go, another, you know, YouTuber. I think he bought the one that that Hoovy bought, that green one,
Yeah.
and he turned around. He did a little bit of things to it, but not much. And I think he paid $2,000 for that car, and wound up unloading it for like $4,000. And it was not in the best of shape.
Yeah.
Paint was shot on it, but it ran perfect. Because it sat for about 8 or 9 months, and he went out there and threw
Also-
a battery, and it fired right up. I was
I'm
like,
going to go ahead and kill this out so I can do this because, guys, for once, I have won one of these things. So, Luke James made
Doing
it.
the James
Fuck you, James, man.
high five. Very nice.
Hey. A loser! A loser!
All right,
A
Clarkson.
loser!
Clarkson!
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It's a call.
All right, guys.
Massive
You know,
I think
you know,
that's it.
here's the thing: these things are so weird, and trying to find prices on anything. I'm looking up the Alcyon, which is, you know, the JDM version of the car. I can't even find a price on one of those.
Right.
Jeez.
That's what I meant when I said there's no market for them. They're so oddball and so nobody cares about them that there's not a market for them.
Yeah, like I said, kind of like a four-door Falcon, really.
They are.
3 years ago,
Hey.
before Bring a Trailer, that car would have sold for $3,000.
I was thinking
They-
2,500.
They are the Ringo Starr of the Beatles, where no one gives a shit. Ringo, you can't even play. You're not even the best drummer in the Subaru, in the Subaru business.
It's
Yeah,
not a car
but,
that Subaru
but Ringo
is
ended
known
up as
for.
part of the Traveling Wilburys, so there's that.
Yeah, it's not a car that Subaru's known for. It
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
one that ever gained any traction.
It wasn't.
doesn't
It,
have
wa-
a cult following.
it wasn't a WRX or an STI.
That
Right.
car is
Also, the
like
only
the
one that's
ugly
not
stripper
dead,
on the
so-
night shift at the club. That's what that car is.
DT.
It's there.
It was DT.
It was there. You know she's ugly, but you still want to know what it's about. Just, I mean, because.
Still want to see it.
Don't get me wrong,
Still
I'd
wanna see
love to
everything.
have one.
Yeah.
It'd be a cool car to drive around in, but no one cares.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Radwood material.
Yeah. All right.
And on that note, guys,
And on that bombshell,
We can't do that. We're probably copyrighted.
no.
and on that,
Kind of like, you know, if we were to use features and quirks to describe such a car.
You said that earlier.
I know.
quirks and features.
See? Did it backwards.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna vlog out.
Yes. Bye,
Thanks
guys.
for
Thank
hanging
you
out
for
with us.
watching us.
It was nice
We are
talking
Pints
to
and
you.
Pistons. Make sure to like us on Facebook, on YouTube.
The Instagrams are over there.
If you're not a subscriber, go on ahead and subscribe, and then smash that bell, man.
Jesus Christ, that should annoys the fuck out of me.
I know, right?
Hey,
I
hold
do
on,
it just
hold
because
on,
it annoys
hold
you.
on. Before we
Thanks.
end, do we talk about
No.
French Monkeys? Our prime sponsor?
Yeah, we
French
gotta
Monkeys?
talk about sponsors, don't
Our
we? Shit.
prime sponsor,
So,
French Monkeys.
French Monkeys Automotive,
Back up,
New Love
back
Dog
up,
Ranch,
right there. Yeah,
Clutch Shift Go. We don't have Dan to do all the sponsory shit.
Goddamn, hold on, I got this. Okay, guys, we got Wrench Monkeys Automotive, we got Clutch Shift Go, we got Doodlebug Dog Ranch, but obviously Wrench Monkeys Automotive is our #1 sponsor, and supporter. So, guys, make sure to go hit them. They are all on YouTube. Hit them up on Facebook at Wrench Monkeys Automotive. Hit them up on YouTube at Wrench Monkeys Automotive, all one word, and that. And we're going to end it off for tonight. Hashtag winning team, hashtag trash behavior.
Hashtag regular car reviews.